I always understood that Princeton had maintained high academic standards and that its faculty was well qualified, and that principles of intellectual rigor and inquiry, including debate and dissent, were held in high esteem at Princeton as well. In the last few years, I saw that that had not become true, that that had become false. Princeton had become just another politically correct left-wing commune. Students have learned who dissent from the woke mentality. And look, even when I was there, I was a Republican activist, and I would put up posters for events that would be torn down. Reagan, bad, torn down. Nonetheless, that was considered to be sort of outside the pale. If we knew who had done it, we probably could have had that person disciplined. You don't bother with that. But what we see that's going on now is a complete crack up. Why does it matter to you now? Like you, I'm not going to send my children to Princeton. I had the extraordinary privilege, I will call it that, of attending what was at the time probably the greatest university in the country for undergraduates. And as I said, it was everything that I could have hoped for and more. But I would never expose my children to that environment. What we considered to be a wild time in the early 80s wouldn't even pass muster at an ordinary American public high school in 2023. The inversion of morality, the contempt for traditional conceptions of academic performance and merit and free thought are the rule, not the exception now. And I'm grateful not to have twinned my identity with being a Princeton man any longer than I did, and to have instead chosen a truly eternal and meaningful identity for myself as an individual, as a person, and again, as a member of the Jewish people and an observant Jew. But I must still reckon with the effects of Princeton and Harvard and Yale and even Penn on the world around me. In our law firm, we hire people. We can't merely look at a resume anymore and see that someone comes from an Ivy League school and assume that they're among the best. For two reasons. One is that these schools have decided that academic performance as traditionally measured will no longer be as nearly as significant a factor in admissions decisions or grading as they once were. Moreover, any student who has stewed or been stewing in that intellectual environment for the last 7 years of his life, 4 years, is either going to be extraordinary because he will have come out of it with still something of a clear head, or will be someone we don't want to have around.